Accelerated Reader is a reading assessment program located on the web or desktop software. It is used to assess children in grade school all the way up through junior high. Renaissance Place or Renaissance Learning holds the online portion of the software, making it easily accessible to many students. The system functions are to give students a reading level, suggest books at the student's level, and determine if a student read a book with full comprehension. Judy and Terry Paul started the program in 1984 from their homes in Wisconsin. Over time, the business grew and changed. Today, accelerated reading is so popular, it is used in 1/3 of schools in the United States. Worldwide, it is used in more than 60 countries. Renaissance Learning mission statement, according to Renaissance Learning website, reads, "Our primary purpose is to accelerate learning for all children and adults of all ability levels and ethnicity and social backgrounds worldwide. This company is devoted to education for all. The company prides themselves on having research-based methods. National Dropout Prevention Center Network, Promising Practice Network, National Center on Response to Intervention, all and other organizations help Renaissance Learning with research advancement." Since Renaissance Learning is devoted to changing with education, the company changed testing systems in 2011 to fit the Common Core state standards. Personalized assessment, personalized instruction, and personalized practice made the assessments fall under standards of the Common Core. The company has also added new aspects throughout the years. Through all the years, the company education principles have remained as follows. Teachers are important and key to improving schools. The best way to free people to pursue their own purpose is to help them become literate. Reading is the foundation of academic skills and critical thinking. Extensive practice is necessary to develop the skills of reading and mathematics. By knowing the history, one has to weigh the positive and negative of this assessment tool. Stephen Crashman wrote in the Journal of Children's Literature that accelerated reading contains additional time for reading, along with increased access to books. Children take comprehension tests on what they read and earn points. Children can exchange these points for prizes. It is the prizes that were brought to Crashman's attention that could be a problem. A study Crashman looked into found that increasing reading activity had a positive relationship with improving reading comprehension. He believes this is true as a short-term effect on students because of reward systems related to accelerated reading. Crashman came to the conclusion that even though there is nothing wrong with accelerated reading, it may not be the best option in the long run. He sees the program as having flaws because of the prize system that is sometimes associated with accelerated reading. Smith and Westberg asked students what they thought of accelerated reading. They found that capable readers actually dislike the program so much that they take quizzes by watching a movie made from a book, ask friends to take the test for them, or read books well below their reading level to earn accelerated reading points on accelerated reading tests. Students learn the system and try to overcome it so they can exceed and get a good grade on the assignment. It was also brought to the attention of these writers that students were not reading for enjoyment, they were just reading for prizes and rewards. Smith and Westberg also remarked that Renaissance learning has no control over reward systems used alongside their programs in different schools. This brings up the point that the program can have different effects based on how it is implemented in different school systems. You are seeing an example of a reward system used alongside accelerated reading. A certificate of achievement is presented to a child, sometimes accompanied by a pizza certificate or another type of reward. These types of rewards can be a short-term fix to get students to read. In some cases, students are using other ways to succeed at accelerated reading tests to earn points to get quick rewards. One may ask if the reward system is the best thing to be accompanied with accelerated reading. This image is kind of but it explains how the pressure to earn points and different reward systems used alongside accelerated reading can be so great because students want the tangible object. Also, it creates a lot of competition because students are seeing other students receive these rewards, and if they don't achieve the number of points, they will not earn these rewards, which can lower their self-esteem in the end because they didn't complete the goal. It can raise their self-esteem if they do complete the goal and if an adult is supervising the activity correctly and keeping the reader reading in their level so they don't get discouraged. This is just another example of a reward system used alongside accelerated reading where the students are encouraged to get 75 points to go for bronze, gold, so forth. It's very controversial about what kind of reward system you use with accelerated reading, and every teacher is going to use a different reward system. In order for a student to earn accelerated reading rewards, the student must complete a certain number of points assigned by the teacher. The points are earned by completing accelerated reading tests on different books. Each book is given a designated number level which determines the complexity of the book. Every school uses a different coloring system to differentiate between the levels, but the number system is the same for all books associated with accelerated reading. A student can then enter the library and find books in their reading level according to the color given to their reading level. This makes finding books for the student easier and independent for the student because the color system is much more easy to follow than the numbering system. A star test is given a student's reading level. This level puts the student in a numbered category that is associated with a color. The test is given about once a quarter. STAR stands for the Standardized Test for Assessment of Reading. Right now, you are seeing an example of a STAR test question. Notice that the question is focusing on vocabulary and not comprehension. Comprehension is the main focus in the book tests that are given. These are the types of questions students are answering in every assessment. Usually, an assessment will contain about 10 questions in the same format as the example you see. Take note that the question is multiple choice and it is a fact-based question. Hawk wrote in the Accelerated Reader an analysis of the software's strengths and weaknesses and how it can be used to its best potential about the advantages of using Accelerated Reader. He mentioned how data was collected with efficiency and accuracy. By using the software, a teacher and student can get instant data from the assessment. At the end of the assessment, the test is automatically scored and the grade is given to the student immediately. This is a huge advantage over other types of formal assessment, especially standardized assessment, because it takes such a long time to receive data for. The teacher can print the data in the morning and address issues the same day. This is a huge advantage for teachers to be able to fix problems quickly. The teacher is notified about children that are doing poorly in an at-risk report. There are many features that categorize data fast for teachers' use. Talk also talked about the use of reward systems alongside accelerated reading tests. He says the problem is the prizes are often simple toys and have nothing to do with reading. This reward method sends a poor message to students that if they read books and take tests, they can earn insignificant prizes, which is not rewarding reading with more reading. This thought by Pak is similar to other scholarly articles I have assessed by different professors. It is a common theme that schools are using reward methods that are not effective for long-term reading goals for students. Overall, Pak believes the tests encourage reading because students want to succeed at the test. When a student passes a test, they are given the satisfaction of accomplishing something, encouraging them to read more. Catherine Sloan, a former Arkansas librarian, pronounced that Accelerated Reader was made to be a reading tool, not a reading punishment. She has gone through accelerated reading training, and this has led her to believe that Accelerated Reader is an effective tool to enhance students' reading comprehension and motivate students to read. Linda Pavlina said that Accelerated Reader became so popular because of word of mouth. The effect of the systems are thought to increase reading comprehension. This can also help the cognitive level of students in other subjects. By being a fluent reader, a student can exceed in other content areas because they understand the material clearly. The positives will help the student have increased self-esteem and better confidence. Overall, this will help the student exceed in school greatly just by using accelerated reading. Her article talks about how research shows that the more a person reads, the better a person becomes at reading. She stresses the importance of teachers providing a large amount of text and reading time. Accelerated reading helps provide these things for students. My personal experience with accelerating reader was in middle school. It's very similar to the students interviewed by Smith and Westberg. In school, kids would use books at higher reading levels than they were supposed to be reading to get more points quicker. The program never felt helpful to me because it was assisted alongside short-term reward systems. I also would abuse the system and take tests on books that had movies made about them and do other shortcuts to get the points without reading the stories. My reading level was poor, and I believe this is why I found accelerated reader not helpful, because the reward system used was only short term. I also felt bad that I had such a low reading level when other kids could read big books and get a lot more points from those books where I would have to read 5 books and they would only have to read 2 books. The rewards were never focused on reading. They were always a plastic toy or a Pizza Hut gift card. This could be one of the reasons the program was not successful in my eyes. I connected with someone on the idea of accelerated reader being used as an encouragement, not a punishment. There's a fine line between encouraging reading and making reading a chore. Teachers can use accelerated reader as a tool to help students be excited about exceeding in reading. If the tool is used correctly, a student can advance reading levels quickly. If the tool is used incorrectly, a student can encounter many challenges with reading along the way because reading will be seen as a chore. So how will this help you as a future teacher? Depending on what school district you work for, you may have accelerated reader or you may not, depending on how wealthy the district is, because the program can be pricey. Keep in mind, 1/3 of the schools in the United States use accelerated reader, so the chances are pretty high it will be used in the school district you work for. Your impact with accelerated reader is how you choose to use it in your classroom. The biggest decision is what type of reward system you implement for your classroom. This will make an effect on the outcome your students receive long-term and short-term. Reading for reading rewards holds the best long-term outcomes because the student will learn to enjoy reading. Reading for other types of rewards hold a short-term effect on the student's reading ability that can fluctuate from grade level to grade level. In conclusion, accelerated reading is a program used for reading assessment in most schools. It has controversial reward systems attached to it, but research has helped design the system in the recent years to fit the Common Core. It has also found that reading for reading rewards is the best long-term system, where other systems only hold short-term effects on reading from grade level to grade level. The different uses of accelerated reading in school changes the outcomes overall, creating a positive growth experience is accelerated readers' goal. This is the list of the sources I used for my project in APA style. I strongly encourage you to YouTube accelerated reader if you never used it in school, because there are a lot of really good YouTube videos that explain the steps of accelerated reader, and it's also good to see that visual. If I would have given this presentation live, I would have showed a couple video clips in my presentation because I think it explaining how the system works. As a side note,